serve for Virginia from right to left, and we are underway from Charlottesville, Virginia. Bump up front, Georgia Tech immediately with an attacking error, and Virginia starts up 1-0. Attacking error from Anna Boese, middle blocker for Georgia Tech out of Troy, Ohio. A lot of height up front from Georgia Tech. Second serve. Boese with the fake, far side, denied at the net, but it's punched down into the hardwood, and Georgia Tech will get the point. Larissa Mendez with the kill this time. 5-time district champion, the true freshman is, out of Brazil. Leads the team with 177 kills. Talk about a young talent for Georgia Tech. Now it's number 8 on the other side for Georgia Tech, getting the serve up. That was Paula Pimentel. Quick tap over from Virginia. Far side swing, and it finds the hardwood. Tamara Oteen out of Auckland, New Zealand, the Illinois State transfer with the kill. 23 kills in her last match, led the way. 13 digs as well, the outside hitter, a senior for Georgia Tech. Another smooth serve over. And threading the needle this time for Virginia to level the score. Varicia Jan, who is one of the more prolific middle blockers on the roster. And she'll get the serve for Virginia here. 2-2, set 1 of action in ACC women's volleyball. And again, Shannon Wells was very straightforward about exactly the competition that she was getting out of Georgia Tech tonight. Smooth serve over, dug out. Far side swing, Jan is putting that ball up into the air, but tapped quickly back over. Larissa Mendez with her second kill. Shannon Wells said, Georgia Tech is bigger than us. They're more experienced. They play high IQ volleyball. But what percentage of time can we give our athletes big seams or one-on-ones? So that's kind of the schematic approach that Shannon Wells has. She's in her 3rd season with Virginia. Brought them to their highest height as a program last year, a 12-win season. From left to right, Georgia Tech with the advantage. Here's the serve from Bella D'Amico. Free ball over to Georgia Tech. Can they convert? Roll shot over. UVA with a chance. Lee sets far side. Bad swing in front of the net. Wow, what a dig on the other side from the libero. Gamillion has been effortless for Virginia this year. And another dig. And Lee decides to tap it over. Here's Georgia Tech's response. Bumped up in the air at the net. Gamillion with a bump set. Far side swing. And it looks like that's going to be Georgia Tech's point on the attacking error. Quick tempo to get things rolling. 4-2 Georgia Tech. D'Amico with another serve. Top of the net. Lee back set over in the swing, denied at the net. Virginia with a second chance. Threading the needle this time. Brooklyn Borum with her first kill. Just 7 kills in her last match versus Clemson. The outside hitter, though, well-rounded for a junior. 6 foot out of Illinois. So Virginia will bring it back to the far side of your screen. Regan Trueblood, the setter, will have the serve here. Spin shot, and it's dug out just fine. Quick touch over. Easy does it for Georgia Tech. Tamara Oteen with the kill. Leads the squad with 180 digs for Georgia Tech. Again, this is the 11th ranked team in the country, right? So one of the more prolific outside hitters in not just the ACC, but the country. Here's the serve from Oteen. Far set swing and way out of reach. Brooklyn Borum with the attacking error. 5-3, make it 6-3 Georgia Tech. UVA so far this year, a lighter schedule. 2023 has been nice to them so far, as a receiving error gives Georgia Tech another point. They have 7 2022 NCAA tournament teams on their schedule, though. Florida State, Georgia Tech being one of them, Louisville, Miami, Pittsburgh, Quinnipiac, and UMBC. And this is their first ranked competition of the year. They have a couple other teams that are still in the slate as well for later on this season. Virginia with a soft bump over. Here's a free ball for Georgia Tech. And that one is gravitized by DeAndre Pierce. Middle blocker out of Austin, Texas. DeAndre one of the more well-rounded and experienced talents for Georgia Tech, the Texas transfer. She had 5 kills in her last match versus Pitt. Oteen's serve from left to right on your screen. Back set over. Virginia finds the hardwood. With the kill this time, Chloe Wilson. Outside hitter and right side. Finished 6th in kills last year with Wake Forest. A lot of transfers on this roster for Virginia. Borum with the serve. Free ball over, and not too much of a response from Virginia. And how about the swing this time from Georgia Tech? Afedo Manyang, the TCU transfer at 6'3", when Shannon Wells in the coach's call said, we're looking out for people who have height up front. Manyang was pretty exemplary of exactly what Virginia had to worry about in their middle blockers. Here's the serve from Pierce. Quick touch over, pancake, brought back up out of the hardwood, and Georgia Tech will get the point. Bianca Bertolino with the kill this time. 2022 All-ACC second-teamer. And Shannon Wells is going to call timeout. Virginia down 6 points just like that in set 1 of action. We'll step away for just a moment and come back with some ACC women's volleyball on the network. (10-4), Georgia Tech leads the way. It's ACC Women's Volleyball on the ACC Network Extra from Charlottesville. Cal Marshak, thank you guys for joining me on, well, a brisk evening in Central Virginia, but we get to have the roof right over us here at Memorial Gymnasium, one of the more historic venues in NCAA volleyball. And you have a little bit of a historic matchup, right? The last time we get 2 ACC squads facing each other in the ACC that we know today. The 11th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will have the serve from left to right. Gamillion with an easy dig for Virginia. And a touch over, dug out. Here's a free ball at the net for Virginia. Another response by Georgia Tech, and Manyang thought she was denied at the net, but it's poked out of play, and Georgia Tech collects another point out of the timeout. And in the day and age of transfers, Shannon Wells was pretty transparent about what she wanted to do with her program as they're coming off their winningest year in program history for Virginia last year. Here's a kill up front. And Virginia is back in the point column. Lily Gervais with the swing. Out of North Carolina, the 6'4" middle blocker, true freshman, will exit the floor as Chloe Wilson replaces her. Shannon Wells said, I wanted to build this program with 4-year athletes. Gamillion with the serve, well out of reach. Georgia Tech gets the point right back. It's 12-5. The tough part for Shannon Wells, though, is developing that program on 4-year athletes in the day and age of transfers and NIL. And even more difficult, adding transfers, which she did very well this past year, is difficult considering the academics that these athletes have to meet if they want to end up in Charlottesville, too. Here's a soft serve from left to right for Georgia Tech. A swing tipped up in the air. What a dig by Tamara Oteen, and the swing at the net not denied this time. Georgia Tech with 2 straight points as a response. Check out this swing, a back set, and what a deflection by Oteen. Georgia Tech ended up responding, and again it comes down to that height at the net that Shannon Wells, the coach of Virginia, was so worried about. Dug out by Gamillion. Here's a free ball for Virginia. Far set swing. What a dig this time at the net. The joust poked up in the air. Borum with the response and the swing, and that one finds hardwood. Emphatic swing this time. Regan Trueblood smashes it down. Speaking of transfers, right? Trueblood, a D2 talent out of the University of Illinois Springfield. Last game had 20 assists as one of the main setters for Virginia. Here's Ashley Lee. Here's a float serve and a far side swing. Nice dig by Gamillion. Borum, just a pop shot over the net. Dug out. And that one is in favor of Virginia. No one touched it at the net. An attacking error. Larissa Mendez at the net. Swung that one out of play. 13-7, Georgia Tech leads the way. Ashley Lee out of Plano, Texas, the 5'9" setter. One of the shorter statured girls on the roster. And another swing down. Georgia Tech continues to pile up the points. Georgia Tech, on the other hand, a pretty smooth season so far. They're on their, or just finished 3 consecutive top 15 triumphs earlier this season, which was the first streak that they've had in school history. Fantastic dig by their libero. And a far side swing tipped up in the air. Gamillion for Virginia. Lee, and then a swing up front, poked up in the air. Another shot poked up in the air. Gamillion with a diving save. Can they get it over? What a poke over and in play. Gigi Carvaccio with the save. It doesn't turn into a point, though. A denial at the net. Well, let's see what happened at the net here. What a save by Ashley Lee. Gamillion found it, and then it was Carvaccio who came all the way to the stands to get that one in play. Georgia Tech with a jump serve. Wow, what a swing there. One of the better servers on the roster in Bianca Bertolino, who leads the way in service aces in the entire ACC. 39 of them this year, and you can see why with that swing there. Virginia looking to bounce back, though. Back set swing, and it's poked out of play. Georgia Tech with another point. Larissa Mendez on the kill. So Georgia Tech had 3 straight top 15 victories. They had Penn State in their second game of the year and then faced number 12 Ohio State 2 times in a row. We'll talk more about this resume for Michelle Collier and Shannon Wells, but for now we'll step away for just a moment of timeout for Georgia Tech as they lead the way in set 1. After a quick review, Georgia Tech stands with the shot at the net. It is Yellow Jackets' point. So here comes one of the best servers in the ACC. From left to right on your screen, Bianca Bertolino leads the ACC with service aces, looking for number 40 on the year, which is a ridiculous rate through just 15 matches of action. Kyle Marshak here from Memorial Gymnasium. It's Georgia Tech, the number 11th ranked team in the country, visiting Charlottesville as Virginia looks for their first win against Georgia Tech in over 6 years. Fantastic serve by Bertolino. Ashley Lee will pick it up right in front of the scorer's desk, and a swing is poked out of play. Georgia Tech with another point. 10-point lead, as a matter of fact. And right out of the review, Shannon Wells will call a timeout. But let's stay right here and talk about why Georgia Tech has been so special this year as they lead it by 10 points in set 1. Well, we talked about it earlier, right? One of the more prolific programs in the ACC, although they don't have any NCAA championships. Well, they've made it to 2 Elite Eight appearances, both in 2003 and 2021. Their best record, too, 24-8. So they're on pace to match one of the best, if not the best, seasons in program history so far. And it's all because of the leadership of Michelle Collier in her 10th season with Georgia Tech. And she's been one of the best talents in volleyball history, but more importantly, an incredible coach. She worked her way up after playing professionally from 03 to 06 after years spent with South Florida. 2013, she was the Atlantic Sun Coach of the Year. And then in 2019, she was the ACC Coach of the Year after spending time as an assistant coach at USF and South Carolina. So Collier actually just grabbed a historic win a couple days ago. Her 102nd win was against Wake Forest in the ACC, that is. So now the lone leader at the top of that list for Georgia Tech in terms of ACC wins for the Yellow Jackets. Ironically enough, that history was made in juxtaposition to the previous head coach who held that in the 90s, and his name was Shelton Collier. Absolutely no relation. But I guess Collier is a volleyball name, right? So Collier's squad from left to right will come right back out of the timeout. Georgia Tech leads it 17-7 in set one. And Georgia Tech 13-2 in the year. Virginia 8-7. So the Cavaliers looking to stay above 500. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, third in the ACC. Here's another emphatic swing dug out by Borum at the net. Here's the swing set by Lee, and they thread it onto the paint. Nice kill by Leah Harper, her first swing of the night. 14 kills on the year, make it 15 after that one. Oh, I guess it was an attacking error, pardon me. Bertolino with another serve. At the net, and missed it low. Service error, and Shannon Wells' squad will have the ball back here. Here comes a serving specialist. Kate Johnson, 13 service aces on the year. And a float shot is dug out. Just a tip over. Pancake by Ashley Lee. Denied at the net, poked up in the air. Manyang had it. Borum with the swing. Right back over the denial. Tamara Oteen with her third kill of the match already. And Georgia Tech is at 19-8 with the lead. Back and forth action, but if you see there, it's just a height difference at this point, which is exactly what Shannon Wells was talking about. Far side swing, and that one gravitized to the hardwood. Varicia Yan, the middle blocker, out of West Florida. Absolutely smashed that one down. And now she'll serve. Only one service ace on the year. Now in her second season with Virginia. That one just tips the top of the net and spiked back down. Georgia Tech, feels like every time that Virginia gets a point, Georgia Tech gets two. And now they're up 11 in set one. And here comes that size. 6'3" Afeto Manyang goes up to the front. Middle blocker out of Fort Worth, Texas for Georgia Tech. And the serve by D'Amico. Float shot handled just fine by Borum. And an error from Ashley Lee. Looks like the tempo was mixed up front. 21-9, Georgia Tech leads the way. Borum handles it just fine. Here's a back set swing. Roll shot, and it's pancaked up. Denied at the net, but poked out of play. Tamara Oteen. And Georgia Tech makes it 22-9. Oteen, one of the more prolific swingers in the ACC. 10th in the ACC with 176 kills on the year. Here's Ashley Lee getting the bump up, and Borum with the roll shot for Virginia. Georgia Tech from left to right. Manyang slams it down. Third kill of the match for her already from the rafters. The 6'3" middle blocker finds the hardwood, and it's 23-9 Georgia Tech. D'Amico. Easy serve over. Ashley Lee to Borum, and that one dug out. Libero Paula Pimentel gets the bump up. Now Gamillion sets it up. The swing is dug out again. Pimentel looking real strong at libero for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on the left side of your screen. And another good shovel. Far side swing and out of reach. Manyang tried to go cross court, and it thread the needle right to the navy blue paint. Out of bounds. 23-10, Virginia reaches double digits now, still down 13 in set one. Georgia Tech, an experienced squad as well. 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, but 7 juniors, 3 seniors, and 2 grad transfers. Another attacking error by one of those more experienced talents. One of 3 seniors on the roster, Tamara Oteen. So from right to left, Virginia with a serve. First time in 5 points. Regan Trueblood will let it fly. Great serve, but it's dug out. And no shovel this time for Gamillion and company. Easy float shot over, finding the hardwood there was Bella D'Amico. Georgia Tech point. Tamara Oteen lets it fly. Little knuckleball action. And a quick tempo is denied at the net, and Georgia Tech finds the hardwood again to take set one emphatically. 25-11, the Yellow Jackets are up. Was Eloise Suarez, and a swing at the net is denied up front. Attacking error from Virginia. And that's the biggest thing we saw in set one. 1 block for Georgia Tech, none for Virginia. Now, neither team above average in the blocks category, but Shannon Wells said in the coach's call pre-match that, well, Virginia's going to have to design some ways to get blocks as that one sails out of reach. Attacking error from Suarez, and it's a 1-1 score in set 2. Now, very interesting story for Virginia on how they actually design their blocking systems, especially when they have to face an outsized team like Georgia Tech. And it comes back to their assistant coach, Chris Gunwald. As a set up front is denied from the hardwood by Gamillion. Virginia with a free ball over to Georgia Tech. Far side swing, and there's the first block of the match for Virginia. Right on cue. How about the denial from Lily Gervais? 13th block of the year. So Chris Gunwald, the assistant coach, Shannon Wells said, is more than just a volleyball mind. In her words, as it's a serving error from Borum, making it a 2-2 score. Her words, of course, not mine, was that because Chris Grunwald is a double math major as well as a volleyball coach, that makes him a volleyball nerd. They also call him Dad. So quite the personality on the team, but she estimated that Grunwald himself throws up about 10 to 15 hours of film time on each opponent they have, designing players like Varicia Jan and company to try and get some good blocking systems. And so far in set number 2, whatever they're doing is working. As Chris Grunwald, there's a shot of him on the bench for Virginia. Their first lead of any set so far tonight. 3-2 your score. Again, her words, not mine. Chris Grunwald, a volleyball nerd, if you will. And another denial at the net. Just to his design, Varicia Jan with her second block of the afternoon. One of the team leaders with 67 blocks on the year. Had 4 of them in their last match. 10 kills led the way for Jan and company as well. Georgia Tech with a far side swing, and it's threaded off the hardwood. Gamillion with a bump set. Tipped up in the air. There's a roll shot for Georgia Tech. And that one sent into the rafters. And it just went into a basket on the far side of the court. How about that? So that was a kill from on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets outside hitting squad, Tamara Oteen. And if we got a piece of that replay, you can see that on the swing, it popped up in the air and hit that basketball hoop on the far side, and it was nothing but net. Well, cross-training action, if you will. Near side swing denied. Another block for Virginia. All right, now let's take a peek back at it. So Gamillion with another great dig, couldn't get it to go, but nothing but net. She did get something to go there. I don't know if that pops up in the stat sheet, but that should be a three-pointer. It looked like it was more than 25 feet away. All right, back to volleyball. 4-4 your score in set 2. Here's Georgia Tech with a roll shot over, and the pancake cannot be found by Gamillion. Easy does it for Georgia Tech. Paula Pimentel, the defensive specialist for Georgia Tech, has been emphatic so far this year. 230 digs, leads the way for all defensive specialists. Varicia Jan threads it through, and Virginia has tied it back up in set number 2. Speaking of grad transfers, 1 of 2 on the roster for Virginia. And Varicia Jan, sporting number 16 out of Tallahassee, Florida. West Florida transfer, actually owns West Florida's single-season blocks record. So a pretty good talent to pick up if you're Shannon Wells. That one sent into the rafters as well. Can they get a save? Borum gets it up. Gamillion chases it down, and it ends up in the seats. No basketball hoop this time. Just fans in the way. And it's a 6-5 score. Georgia Tech with a 1-point advantage. And right on cue, I talk about Chris Grunwald and his blocking systems as the assistant coach for Virginia. And now Virginia picks up not just their first, but second and third blocks in this set. Here's Georgia Tech from left to right. And the swing from Jan. She can't be stopped right now, and it's a 6-6 score. And here comes the serving specialist again, Kate Johnson, out of Gainesville, Florida. Right at the eye of the Virginia logo, she'll let it fly. And you can see why she's a serving specialist. Poorly handled by Georgia Tech. The swing denied at the net, but it's threaded out of reach, and it's Georgia Tech point. Tell you what, though, for Virginia, Brooklyn Borum at 5'11" can get up there. Tamara Oteen for Georgia Tech lets the serve go. Tip shot over from Varicia Jan. Georgia Tech with a roll shot, denied at the net. And they reset. Pimentel with a back set. Tipped up in the air. What a dig. And the swing is out of reach. Georgia Tech with another point. Got to give credit, though. How about Kate Johnson, who, as a defensive specialist, is really put on the hardwood as mainly a serving specialist, but a couple of good digs from her tonight. As Shannon Wells calls timeout, wants to talk things over. 8-6, much tighter competition in set 2. We'll be back for more ACC Women's Volleyball. Another review this time as we come back to action in Charlottesville, and it falls in favor of Virginia on a swing at the net. So it's a 7-7 score in set 2 of action. Georgia Tech took set 1 over Virginia here in Charlottesville by a score of 25-11. Here's Virginia trying to take their second lead of set number 2, and a tip shot over works to get exactly that. Lily Gervais with her second kill. The 6'4" middle blocker out of Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina. with her 14th kill of the afternoon, or on the season, that is. Parisia Yan with the serve for Virginia from left to right. Georgia Tech in the white jerseys letting it fly up front. And a deflecting error from Virginia. So far side swing works this time. Fado Manyang, one of the tallest young ladies on the court so far tonight. At 6'3". Only competition is the 6'4" Chloe Wilson on the other side for Virginia. Quick tempo toss over by the setter, and it's denied at the net. Dug out for Georgia Tech. And the roll shot dug out of the hardwood. Borum, tip at the net, pushed out of play. Virginia retakes the lead. 9-8 your score in set number 2 of action. And here is the 6'4" Chloe Wilson stepping up. Substituting height for height here is Shannon Wells with a Fado Manyang, the 6'3" middle blocker for Georgia Tech on the other side of your screen. And here is Manyang, letting it fly, but just out of reach. From the rafters, but pushes it to the navy blue paint. Out of bounds. And it's a 10-8 Virginia score in set number 2. Regan Trueblood, talking about good volleyball names, right? With the jump serve. Quick tempo over Gamillion, shovels it out, and then pokes it back up into play. What an effort from Gamillion. A denial at the net. Can Virginia grab a 3-point lead here? The swing is deflected out of reach. Diving effort, but can't get to it. Gigi Carvacho tried to reach for it. Back and forth action. In set number 1, it was a 14-point advantage for Georgia Tech to take the score again, 25-11. Here in set number 2, well, we talked about the blocking systems for Virginia. And there is a shot of Shannon Wells, the calm leadership of UVA's Cavalier volleyball team. So far, it's working in set number 2. Borum with a bump set up, clean receive, and a slam down. Lily Gervais leading the way. Gervais at 6'4", just grabbed that one off the rafters and thread the needle to the hardwood. Here is Borum. Little float shot over. Georgia Tech with a quick tempo. Far side swing. It's dug out. Borum watches it fall to the hardwood. And Georgia Tech gets a point right back. Make it 10-11. Not often you see a team like Virginia make it close in a set versus Georgia Tech. And there's that serving specialist. Free ball over to Georgia Tech. And the Yellow Jackets threaded through to tie things back up. CC Hecht threads the needle down. But how about the easy serving from Bianca Bertolino? Out of San Guillermo, Santa Fe, Argentina, the 6-foot outside hitter. Again, one of the best servers in all of women's volleyball. Popped right up into the air on the receive. Easy tip shot up. And Georgia Tech lets it fly. Gervais denied at the net. And Virginia will get the point. 2 touches. Cavaliers back in the lead. And it's interesting to see a team that historically hasn't been so successful in Virginia give such an effort in set number 2 against Georgia Tech as a serving error. Makes it a tie matchup in set number 2. Really because of the juxtaposition of excellence for Georgia Tech specifically. I mean, you can't keep the Yellow Jackets out of the polls as of late. There's a serve from right to left for Georgia Tech. Paula Pimentel, the libero, letting it fly. There's a swing popped up into the air. Virginia. Far side. It's denied. How about they try it again? Pop right back up. It's been a joust at the net tonight and poked out of play. How about the pyrotechnics? Gigi Carvacho with the vision up in the air to tip it off of the blockers up front. Off of the hands of Larissa Mendez, the outside hitter for Georgia Tech. Virginia for a 2-point lead. Easy does it. Two-hand push from Georgia Tech. And the swing denied at the net. Good effort from Gamillion to get it up. An attacking error from Gigi Carvaccio. 28 kills in the year for her. Still searching for her first one tonight. She's in the negative. Easy denial up front from Deandra Pierce, a Texas transfer. Easy serve over for Bella D'Amico. Back set for Virginia. Yan couldn't get it to go. And the swing from Manyang, an attacking error, and Virginia retakes the lead back and forth in set number 2. And again, surprising considering the excellence of the Yellow Jackets. I said you can't keep them out of the polls. Well, I mean, literally, they've been in the top 25 ever since breaking the top 25 in 2020 at number 12 in late September. Tech has since been listed in 60 straight top 25 polls to date. They were number 5 just 2 weeks later back in 2020. They've stayed in the upper echelon of NCAA top 25 rankings ever since. Shelley Collier, that's a shot that you just saw of her. One of the most prolific coaches in women's volleyball today. Borum lets a spin shot fly. It's tipped off one of the lead blockers in Manyang, and Virginia gets another point to go. And Shannon Wells wants to talk things over. UVA Cavaliers looking for an upset on their home court. But we'll be back in a moment midway through set number 2. It's the Yellow Jackets and the Cavaliers on the ACC Network Extra. A little bit of a review right now from Charlottesville. Not a timeout this time. As you can see there, it might have been on that last swing with Virginia supposedly grabbing the point. Maybe a tip out of reach. We'll get a replay in just a moment. Whole lot of replays tonight. So we'll see it. Virginia had a great save by Gamillion, the swing by Borum, and the roll shot was called in favor of Virginia. They're looking to see whether or not Manyang and company got their fingertips on the ball in that last swing. And it looks like on the replay, it confirms the call from that net judge. And it looks like Georgia Tech, as a matter of fact, will have the point taken back in their favor. So clean contact. Manyang and company did not touch the ball, and Virginia, no, pardon me, Virginia will have the point. Just clarifying now. Okay, out of the replay. Let's reset. Virginia is confirmed to get the kill. Brooklyn Borum with the swing on that last one. Looking for a 2-point lead are the Cavaliers. Little net shot over, and a quick tempo is slammed down from the rafters. How about resetting the rhythm? Deandra Pierce spikes it through. And Pierce will be substituted here. Another serving specialist, if you will, in Elizabeth Patterson, the defensive specialist. Senior out of Birmingham, Alabama at 5'9". One of the quicker-footed athletes on the floor for the Yellow Jackets this year. And a good serve. Shoveled out by Gamillion. What a dig from Patterson, who just entered the hardwood. Quick tempo pancake popped up. Can they get it over? They do. Borum with the swing, and they can't get it to go. The line judge is going to say that Virginia is going to get the point, claiming Anna Bozy as well as Bella D'Amico touched the ball at the net. I'd be interested to see whether or not they try and bring this one to replay, although I believe Georgia Tech already lost their replay opportunity. What an effort at the net, though. All right, from left to right, Virginia serves again, and now they have a 1-point lead late into set number 2. Hard swing, popped up at the net, pancake, and you can't get it to go for Georgia Tech. Virginia looking as strong as they have all year. And now I'm certain this time that it's a timeout. Michelle Collier for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets wants to talk things over. Virginia looking for their first set victory against Georgia Tech, or their first victory against Georgia Tech overall since 2017. We'll be back in a moment, midway through set number 2 on the network. (17-15), Virginia leads 11th-ranked Georgia Tech. They're down 1-0 in the match, but set 2 could be theirs. Kyle Marshak from Memorial Gymnasium in Charlottesville, Virginia. Thank you guys for joining me on a wonderful afternoon in Central Virginia. And the Commonwealth being dominated by Georgia Tech so far after a kill from Manyang to bring it back within 1 point. Set number 1 fell in favor of the 11th-ranked Yellow Jackets, 25-11. Set number 2, a little bit of a different story. Chris Grunwald's blocking systems for Virginia are working so far. From right to left, the white jerseys of Georgia Tech will let it fly. Easy serve over. Borum with the dig. And Borum has to turn around on the setting error. Missing the cue there was, it looked like Chloe Wilson trying to bump that one up. Regan Trueblood that was. Eloise Suarez with the serve. Just 4 service aces on the year. Float shot handled just fine in a quick tempo tip. Bumped up by Georgia Tech. A little bit of a free ball for him. The swing. They're trying to call for a tip. And it looks like Virginia did lose the point. Some confusion on the play, but Georgia Tech gets the call. And now this one might be sent to review. There you see a shot of Georgia Tech, one of the top teams in the ACC, 3rd as of right now on a 4-1 record in conference play, led by Michelle Collier, one of the more storied coaches in the ACC. I mentioned earlier for Georgia Tech that with her win against Wake Forest just last week, that was her 102nd win in the ACC as the head coach of Georgia Tech. Number 101 the week before against Virginia Tech, well, that was to grab the all-time lead for the Yellow Jackets program history in ACC wins over former head coach of no relation Shelton Collier as well, back in the 90s when Georgia Tech was in their prime. But Collier has been the easy leader for Georgia Tech so far. One of the more premier talents in her time at South Florida, which is ironic considering the fact that she faced her alma mater earlier this year, as a matter of fact, to open up the season for Georgia Tech. It was an easy 3-0 victory. So Collier, one of the more dialed in and fine-tuned coaches, and one of the most tenured in NCAA women's volleyball as well. This is her decade mark with Georgia Tech. So imagine that. She'll finish the year with somewhere around perhaps 110 wins in the ACC, meaning she averages 11 ACC wins a year. Right now, averaging just around 10 per season. So Collier has been the clear-cut leader for a long time for Georgia Tech. Speaking of leaders, though, Here's Eloise Suarez. Despite her youth, one of the more stat-filled talents for Georgia Tech. How about a denial at the net? Bianca Bertolino slams it to the hardwood. But they're going to call an attacking error, it looks like, or whatever it might be. Sorry, the net judge pointed in the wrong direction. All right, here is the serve. Suarez with her 4th one in a row. Lets it fly, and a roll shot lands at the net. Serving error, and Virginia gets a point back. Set 1, Virginia lost by 14 points. In set 2, it's been back and forth. Borum with a float shot, handled just fine by Bianca Bertolino. Now the swing, and she finds the hardwood. Bertolino with an easy kill. 2022 All-ACC second teamer. 2021 All-ACC freshman team. And last year she finished 2nd on the team and 10th in the ACC in digs. Has 150 of them on the year so far. 2nd on the team so far this year as well. How about the serve? Letting that one fly. Dug out by Gamillion. On the other side, Pimentel with the denial. Far side swing, push shot. Carvacho couldn't get it to go. I'll take that one back. A receiving error from Eloise Suarez, and Carvacho gets her first kill of the night. 20-19, but Virginia back with another serve. Milan Gamillion. Easy cross-court swing, and Georgia Tech gets the point back. 21-19. Yellow Jackets with their first multi-point lead of set number 2 after ravaging Virginia in set 1. Paula Pimentel lets the serve fly. Carvacho with the swing. What a dig by Bianca Bertolino. And a roll shot over, this time by Tamara Oteen. It's denied. Borum, what a swing as she threads it to the hardwood. And Virginia brings it back within 1. Brooklyn Borum from the back line threads it right through the middle. Here's Madison Mori, or Mo as they call her in Virginia. Little float shot serve, handled just fine. Block attempt by Oteen at the net. Here's a back set swing. Varicia Yan threads it through. Cross-court swing, and Virginia ties it up at 21 apiece in set number 2. And Georgia Tech is going to talk things over. 21 apiece in set number 2. Virginia looking for their first victory against the Yellow Jackets since 2017. Starts with this set. We'll be back in a moment. Just a few points. Gymnasium in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's the Cavaliers hosting the 11th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And right now, Virginia looking to pull the upset in set number 2 to tie things up at 1 apiece. Letting it fly is Madison Morey with the serve. Popped right up into the air. And the swing tipped up. Borum with the dig. Back set, Varicia Jan. What a dig on the far side, but a receiving error. Finding the hardwood was Varicia Jan. Eloise Suarez couldn't get the pancake to go. Take a look at that roll shot. Beautiful touch right there. Madison Morey led the team in digs last year with nearly 300. A lot of service aces, too. How about the dig from Borum? Far side swing. Carvacho tipped at the net, and Virginia's up by 2. Carvacho grabbing her 5th kill of the afternoon on that swing. Madison Morey, 3rd serve in a row. A spin shot, it's mishandled and punched over. Borum pops it up at the net. The swing, and Jan gets her 2nd in a row. Set point, Virginia. Four service aces on the year for Morey. That would light the Gymnasium up right now. Here's the serve. Popped up in the air. Near side swing. What a dig from Gamillion off the rafters. Carvacho with the swing. And Virginia's awarded the point. Tipped at the net. Set number 2 should fall in favor of the Cavaliers, and I would be shocked to not see this one go under review. Larissa Mendez, the outside hitter up front for Georgia Tech, is saying no way. And sure enough, they're going to talk things over. Let's get a replay of that one. A real close swing at the net. A great rally overall, and if it falls in favor of Virginia, would most definitely be an emphatic way to close out set number 2 and grab a huge set victory. Far side swing from Carvacho on that one, trying to say that Larissa Mendez touched it on the way out, which should make for a great swing from Carvacho to see up in the air that she could punch it off the fingertips and out of reach, since Georgia Tech threw the double block at her. Carvacho, that would be her 6th kill of the afternoon. Real close. And you can see Mendez almost pull her hands away as if to say, ooh, maybe I touched it. One more look. It's close. It looked like maybe her right hand had the deflection. Of course, it has to go down to some undeniable evidence to overturn the call. But as of right now, Virginia just won set number 2. And we still await the decision. In the blue polos, your ACC referees. Still at the scorer's table over there. Set number 1 fell in favor of Georgia Tech by a long reach. This one a little more competitive, but still well decided, but this time in favor of Virginia if it falls in their favor. There's a shot of Michelle Collier, winningest ACC coach for Georgia Tech. Dialed in as ever. And if it's taking this long, right, maybe things are going to be overturned. We'll see what the call is here. Here it is. And Virginia takes set number 2 versus Georgia Tech. 25-11 your score in set 1. 25-21 Virginia takes set 2. And we're all knotted up at 1 apiece. And that means we head to set number 3 with a tie score. Until then, we'll be back in just a moment from Charlottesville. Back out of halftime, and it's a 1-1 score in this edition of ACC Women's Volleyball. Kyle Marshak here from Charlottesville, Virginia. It's the Virginia Cavaliers hosting the number 11th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets as Virginia starts their season at 8-7, but 1-4 in ACC play. They just stole set number 2 from the Yellow Jackets and perhaps now look to steal their first victory against a perennially ranked squad in Georgia Tech for the first time since 2017. And so far leading the way is Regan Trueblood with 17 assists for Virginia, a bulk of which in set number 2, which was won by a score of 25-21 for Virginia. Here is Trueblood letting the serve fly to open up set number 3 of action in Cavalierville. Roll shot, and it's immediately punched down to the hardwood as Larissa Mendez gets the point to open things up in the third set of action. Libero Paula Pimentel will get the serve here. In 2021, she transferred from Miami-Dade College. And a service error from the Rio de Janeiro Brazilian. 1-1 to open things up in set number 3. And there's a shot of one of the bigger names in this game so far. Brooklyn Borum was all over the court in set number 2, has 6 kills, tied for a lead for Virginia so far. Easy float shot serve over in a quick tempo, punched up in the air and finds the navy blue paint off the deflection. Easy kill up front for Deandra Pierce, the Texas transfer. And Pierce has been a great addition for Georgia Tech this year. Did not play in 2022 with Texas. And before this season had just 1 set of NCAA experience in her freshman year with Texas, before transferring to Georgia Tech, of course, this year. Pierce looking for another kill. It's shoveled up into the air by Gamillion. And the swing is out of reach by Brooklyn Borum. 3-1, Georgia Tech opens up with an advantage in set number 3. Here's Larissa Mendez. 8 service aces so far this year. Leads the team in kills, though. Gamillion with the dig. Far side swing, Carvacho denied. Backside swing, and it finds the hardwood. Bianca Bertolino, one of the hardest swingers in the ACC. Make that her 155th kill of the year. And Mendez will have the ball back. Mendez, member of the U21 South American Championship team with Brazil. 6'3" outside hitter is legit for Georgia Tech so far. Near side swing, Carvacho hits the pin, and Georgia Tech opens up set 2 with a 4-point advantage. And just like that, Shannon Wells is going to talk things over. And there's a shot of Georgia Tech, led by Michelle Collier. After dropping set number 2, Georgia Tech opens up set number 3 with ease. We'll be back in a moment from Charlottesville. Georgia Tech back in the driver's seat. 25-11 the score in set one. Georgia Tech took it there. And then the Yellow Jackets drop set two. But here we are in set three, and it's a 5-1 Yellow Jackets advantage. Looking right back into the version of the 11th ranked team that we expected here in Virginia. And they'll open up with a serve out of the timeout. Quickly, Carvacho gets the kill, and Virginia back in the stat sheet. Milan Gamillion has gotten a lot of credit for Virginia this year. She'll get the serve at that far corner for Virginia, down 3 in set 3. Float shot over. It's dug out just fine by Bertolino. How about the far side swing and a receiving error from Borum? Georgia Tech with a point right back at you. Tied at 1 set apiece to varying degrees of victory. 14 points, the margin of victory in set 1 for Georgia Tech. Only 4 points, the margin of victory for Virginia in set 2. Throwing that one down is Carvacho, her second straight kill. Gigi Carvacho out of Tennessee, the Ole Miss transfer back in 2021. Served on the U20 Chilean national team in 2019. And at the Pan American Cup back just a couple of years ago, was the 3rd best overall scorer at the tournament. Just a pure athletic talent, Carvacho is. Serve over from Madison Mori. Far side swing. It's poked up in the air. Regan Trueblood with the set. Popped up by Georgia Tech from left to right. They let it fly. Back and forth. Carvacho with her 3rd straight swing. And Carvacho's got athleticism in her blood. Her father, Eddie, played soccer at South Alabama. Her mother, Nicole, played basketball there. And her brother, Nico, plays basketball at Colorado State and also served on the Chilean national team. And you can see on that kill there, she's got that basketball ups, if you will, too. Madison Mori lets it fly. Easy bump up. Mori tip over from Bertolino. Borum threads the needle and gets it to go. How about Madison Mori's defense, though? A girl who hasn't put up too much on the stat sheet, but when I asked head coach Shannon Wells about someone who's helping this team in ways that don't show up in the stat sheet, her first call was Mo. The nickname of course, Madison Mori, who just served up the ball there. Gravitizing that one up front was Deandra Pierce for Georgia Tech, back in the point column, 7-5. Yellow Jackets up by 2 in set number 3. And Pierce will be substituted by Elizabeth Patterson here. Serving specialist for Georgia Tech, if you will. Senior out of Birmingham, Alabama. Speaking about having athleticism in her blood, former high school track standout Patterson is. Near side swing, Carvacho looking for her 4th kill of the set. Couldn't get it to go. Bertolino dug out by Borum. Up into the rafters. Here's Mori with the set. Carvacho again and denied at the net. Far side with a quick tempo. Bertolino couldn't get it. Gamillion with the dig. Carvacho again, and it's popped up. Back and forth we go. Gamillion, stop it. What a dig by her. And now an attacking error. No, a touch at the net by Georgia Tech, and Virginia gets the point. Perhaps the longest rally we've seen all night. Set number 1, it looked like Virginia was ready to keel over. Set number 2, they stole away the set. And now Virginia putting up a fight in set number 3 as well. A curling serve there. Tipped up in the air by Jan for Virginia. Near side swing by Borum. She pokes it over. What a dig by Mori. Borum again. Roll shot deflected. Here's a joust at the net. Borum pokes it up. Georgia Tech gets it to go. What a swing. Bianca Bertolino with the response. And Georgia Tech stole the point away. It's an 8-6 score in set number 3. Can we talk about the defensive effort at the net? Larissa Mendez on the far side of your screen was the one getting that one off the hardwood. There's a shot at Bianca Bertolino, who just got the kill. Now the serve from Eloise Suarez. Popped up in the air, and a swing shot from Jan denied. What a dig by Gamillion. A joust at the net, and threading it through is Georgia Tech. Larissa Mendez gets the kill. 9-6, Georgia Tech with some momentum. 2 straight points. Suarez out of Brazil as well. The 5'11" setter lets the serve fly. Back set to Jan. Denied at the net. A brick wall is Bertolino. And how about the Selly from the Yellow Jackets off the bench? Fun squad Michelle Collier and the Yellow Jackets have. Now looking for a 5-point advantage early into set number 3. Borum denied at the net, but it's popped right back up. Suarez with the set. Far side swing, and punching it down is Larissa Mendez. Leads the team in kills, and at 6'2", the true freshman has been an unbelievable talent in the ACC so far. Talk about an ACC Freshman of the Year candidate. Larissa Mendez has been ridiculous as an outside hitter for Georgia Tech. Suarez, float serve over, poked at the net. Virginia will give him a free ball. Here's a roll shot for Georgia Tech. Easy does it for Bianca Bertolino. Bertolino with her 9th kill of the match. Tamara Oteen has been off the court for all of set number 3. She leads the way for Georgia Tech and company. And now with a timeout, we'll have a little bit of a conversation between the Yellow Jackets. So we'll step away. It's a 6-point advantage for Georgia Tech in set number 3. It's women's volleyball in the ACC from Virginia as the Cavaliers host the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And Georgia Tech on a 1-1 set score with Virginia here in Charlottesville, leading the way in the stat sheets. And you wouldn't expect it if you looked at the hitting percentage alone that Virginia has kept it as close as they have. 105 hitting percentage for Virginia, subpar at best. 474 for Georgia Tech. But Virginia's kept it respectable in set number 3 after taking set 2 by a 4-point advantage. Outscored by Georgia Tech by 10 points and then some, though, today. Eloise Suarez will let the serve fly out of the timeout. Just shy of midway through this contest, if you will. And a deflection out of bounds. Virginia, out of the timeout, gets a point to get things rolling. Mauricia Jan. Grad transfer out of West Florida, her 2nd season with Virginia. Here's the serve from her. And a knuckleball is just out of reach. Georgia Tech point. 2nd serving error from Jan so far tonight. And here's one of the best servers in the ACC, Bianca Bertolino. Watch this ball zip from left to right on your screen. My goodness. Joust at the net. Easy does it for Georgia Tech. My goodness. Let's get another look at that one. First, the serve. Beautifully handled by Borum. But the kill by Callie Engemann was a thing of beauty. Great dig. Here's a free ball over to Virginia. Mishandled. Gamillion. Near side swing. It's Borum. One hand pop-up. A joust at the net. Poked back up in the air. Georgia Tech with a backside swing. Bertolino tips it over. Virginia handles just fine. Borum gets the swing to go. Virginia brings it back within 6. Regan Trueblood's turn. Trueblood spent just a couple of seasons with the University of Illinois Springfield, a D2 powerhouse in volleyball. As she serves it up there, and the kill is easy for Georgia Tech. They make it 15-8 in set number 3. But get this with Regan Trueblood. This talent was brought over and recruited hard by Shannon Wells out of the transfer portal last year because, well, she's one of the best setters in all of women's volleyball. Just has yet to get the time to prove it, although she's been excellent tonight. She's number 5 on Springfield's all-time assists list as Virginia gets another kill. And, of course, Trueblood on the assist there. Make it 15-9. Georgia Tech still leads the way, but Virginia clawing their way back. Brooklyn Borum slings it through. A little bit of a receiving error and a reach over the net from Georgia Tech. Virginia slams it down. Chloe Wilson re-enters the stat sheets. The 6'4" outside hitter threads it through. Wake Forest transfer is Chloe Wilson. Borum will let it fly. Easy receive for Georgia Tech. A far side swing. How about the pinpoint accuracy from Larissa Mendez, who threads it through. Mendez also a talent at the national scale. Was at the South American Championship in 2022, a part of the U19 Brazilian squad. Lets the serve fly there. A tip shot over from Virginia. Far side set in the swing. What a dig from Borum. Backside set, denied at the net, but pushed out of play, and Virginia gets the point. Back within 5 are the Cavaliers. Virginia facing their first ranked opponent in 2023. Could they try and claw back and steal set number 2? A float shot serve from Gamillion. Far side swing and an attacking error. Virginia with another point. Make it a dozen for the Cavaliers. They're back within 4. Gamillion, the Maryland transfer. First season with Virginia. Georgia Tech couldn't get it to go, and a touch at the net. Virginia got a little too intimate with the nylon there, and Georgia Tech gets a point back. Back to a 5-point advantage for the Yellow Jackets now. Hitting percentage much more accurate in this set, though. Virginia back up to 260 on the hitting percentage now. Down to 393 is Georgia Tech. Far side swing and getting it to go is Chloe Wilson. Give her her 6th kill of the night. Good for 3rd on the roster so far in this match. And there you see a shot of Wells chatting with Wilson, who has been playing well in that rotation. And here's this clubhouse leader, according to Shannon Wells, in the true senior, Madison Morey. A little bit of a float serve, and Georgia Tech handles it just fine. Denial at the net. Suarez puts it back up. Bertolino threads it through, but Virginia didn't touch it. And the Cavaliers will get the point. They're back within 3, their closest deficit so far, midway through set number 3 of action. Memorial Gymnasium lighting up in prospect of Virginia stealing another set. Mishandled is Georgia Tech, and Virginia makes it a 2-point match. Shannon Wells with a big old smile on her face. In her third season, she could be bringing UVA to the highest heights we've seen in ACC history. Cavaliers down 2. We'll be back from Charlottesville. Two-point advantage for the 11th ranked Yellow Jackets in Georgia Tech, right here in Cavalier territory. Kyle Marshak on the ACC Network Extra. You have a fun one so far. Set 1, well in favor of Georgia Tech. Set 2, well in favor of Virginia. And now a close set 3 for an advantage taker on either side. Virginia serves from right to left on your screen. Georgia Tech in the white jerseys. Letting it fly on the far side swing was Bertolino. Touch back up. Virginia handles the dig. Carvacho looking for a kill. Couldn't get it to go. Deandra Pierce denied at the net. Virginia backside swing. Jan couldn't get it. Here's another long rally between two ACC squads. Near side swing. Carvacho popped up in the air. Virginia with a second try. Gamillion. Carvacho. Yes! Virginia back within 1. The Cavaliers 22-41 versus Georgia Tech all time. And right now, Carvacho has lit this place on fire in the past couple of sets, ever since that 25-21 victory in set number 2. And listen to this place rock. Morey with the serve. Bumped up, one-handed set, and Pierce punches it through. Georgia Tech re-extends their lead. Some substitutions. Here's Patterson on the court for the Yellow Jackets. Pierce will exit the floor. And Patterson, kind of a serving specialist, put on the floor in substitution for Pierce through the rotation. Here she is. Mishandled, and the bump set will go cross court. Carvacho spins it through. They're calling for a tip, but right now Georgia Tech's got the point. And they'll stick it with it. Patterson will have the serve again. Georgia Tech back on top by 3. Jan threads it through, but an attacking error, and Georgia Tech looks to be awarded the point. We'll see whether or not that is the call. Another swing shot, and it looks like they did get the tip from Bertolino at the net, and Virginia will get the point. Mishandled on the receive, and now a roll shot over. Borum rolls it. Suarez, far side set, and a great dig. On the floor now is Kate Johnson. What a swing up front. Virginia is rolling right now. Brooklyn Borum with another kill. Many fans in attendance tonight, and a serving error kills the momentum. Kate Johnson, the sophomore out of Gainesville, Florida, also subbed on as kind of a serving specialist. Luis Suarez with the serve for Georgia Tech, who's up by 2 in set number 3. Jan powers it down, but Georgia Tech gets the point. And they like to say the first one to 20 in a set is the first one to 25 in a set. And Georgia Tech got to 20 just before Virginia. It doesn't mean that it's in their back pocket just yet, though. Suarez, a little float shot mishandled by Johnson. Far side swing. Borum couldn't get it to go. It's popped up. Bertolino powers it down, blocked at the net, and popped back up. Here's a roll shot from Borum. And another attempt. How about the dig from Johnson? Borum denied at the net. Gamillion pops it up. How about we try again? And an attacking error gives Georgia Tech their 22nd point of set 3. Virginia putting up quite the fight, though, down 4. Cavaliers have won half as much as they've lost against Georgia Tech all time, 22-41 specifically. And they haven't defeated Georgia Tech since 2017. Johnson with a fantastic dig and a far set. Here's a free ball to Georgia Tech from Borum. Bertolino, what a dig from Gamillion, a joust at the net, and it's threaded down to the hardwood. Georgia Tech gets to 23. They're up 5 now in set number 3. How about Gamillion taking that one right on the forearms? And Suarez has got to feel good about serving this 5th ball up in a row. Momentum for Georgia Tech. Tip shot over. Jan couldn't get it. And the backside swing is poked out of reach. Tamara Oteen back in the stat sheet. Oteen out of one of the fighting capitals in the world, Auckland, New Zealand. And she's fighting back for the Yellow Jackets right now after a wonderful first set. Georgia Tech looking to get back in the win column after losing set number 2. How about the effort to put it back in? And Virginia just got the point. The save on the far side from Jan and company. And Virginia brings it back within reach. Look at the effort reaching around the pin was Regan Trueblood. And the Cavaliers are back within a handful. And a whole slew of substitutions. Here's Ashley Lee, the setter. Back to serve. First time on the floor tonight, Haley Velasquez, junior out of Wilmington, Delaware. Far side swing. Gervais couldn't get it. And a complete mishap from Georgia Tech. And now Virginia makes it a 4-point game. Georgia Tech on match point, and it looks like Michelle Collier is sensing a lapse mentally from her Yellow Jackets as the Cavaliers and the Yellow Jackets will talk things over. Close, set number 3. Match point, Georgia Tech in set number 3 of action between the Cavaliers hosting the Yellow Jackets. But 2 straight points for Virginia means a timeout for Michelle Collier and her Georgia Tech squad. From right to left, the Navy Blue are the Cavaliers serving it up. Velasquez lets it fly. Here's a far side swing from Gervais, and it's out of reach. An attacking error. Larissa Mendez punches it to the Navy Blue paint. And Virginia's on 3 straight points right now. Can they avoid giving up set 3 to Georgia Tech? Haley Velasquez, 6 service aces on the year, too. That would help out for the Cavaliers right now. Little float shot, handled just fine, and a quick tempo swing up front. Milan Gamillion for Virginia, and a roll shot from Borum. Backside swing, poked up, and down to the hardwood, but a whistle before. Georgia Tech will get the point. Looks like someone touched the net up front. And Georgia Tech will take set number 3. All right, it's 2-1. Georgia Tech just survives that 3rd set. And that means Virginia on their heels right now as we await set number 4 from Charlottesville in the Memorial Gymnasium. Georgia Tech steals set number 3 for a 2-1 advantage over Virginia here in Charlottesville. And there's a shot of one of the leaders in the stat sheet between either side. Tamara Oteen with 13 kills leads the way. The Auckland, New Zealand native out of Illinois State just a couple years ago in her 2nd season for Georgia Tech now. And she's been excellent, reaching double digits in kills just a couple sets into the match. Took a break in set 2, if you will, and now has been back on the hardwood the past couple of sets. Georgia Tech just took set number 3 by a score of 25-21. So Virginia's made it competitive, but they've been outscored by over a dozen so far in total today. We'll see what the Cavaliers have to offer as you have the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on the right side of your screen in white jerseys, and in the navy blue and orange on the left side of your screen, it's the Virginia Cavaliers. Bianca Bertolino, one of the best servers in women's volleyball, ready to get things rolling in set number 4 of action from Memorial Gymnasium in Charlottesville, Virginia. Kyle Marshak here. Thank you guys for joining us on the ACC Network Extra. Bertolino lets it fly, but didn't get enough altitude on it. And Georgia Tech starts in a serving error. Virginia up 1-0 in set 4. It's been a fun match so far. 25-11 was the score in set number 1. And I thought, okay, maybe Virginia isn't going to show too much competition tonight. Well, I was sorely wrong. They took set number 2 by a close score, lost set number 3 by a close score, and now they are up 1-0 here in set number 4. And I'll take that right back. An easy kill up front from Georgia Tech's Callie Engemann entering the floor. And she'll exit just like that after a quick kill. Here's Paula Pimentel, libero for Georgia Tech. Quick tempo over. And a little punch shot pancake from Bertolino. The kill couldn't get it to go. A one-handed set and another tip over. Free ball for Georgia Tech. The swing, not tipped out of reach. Pimentel thought she had the kill. Instead, it's Virginia's point. They're up 2-1 in set number 4. And it looks like they may talk things over. Michelle Collier asking for a review on the tip shot. It was close. Looked like Larissa Mendez was the one swinging on that shot. And up front, it was likely Chloe Wilson and company trying to get the block for Virginia. So it was Tamara Oteen, as a matter of fact, getting the swing. And yeah, it looked like it was Chloe Wilson. Went over the shoulder of Regan Trueblood, but Wilson, the blocker, with her left hand up in the air at the end of that replay there, would be the one to have touched it out of play. Again, looking for undeniable evidence to overturn the call, right? So if we do see in a replay Chloe Wilson's right hand, it would look like, moving upon contact with the ball, you would see this point turned over. And in this day and age, the review is as prevalent as ever in all sports. And especially during this time of year. Crossover from football, baseball, volleyball, basketball will be soon. There you see the far line judge. One more look. And as the replay indicates, Georgia Tech will get the point. It was deflected out of reach. So a second chance, as Georgia Tech, as a matter of fact, has a 2-1 advantage in set 4 of action. Yellow Jackets take this set. They take the entire match. Pimentel gets a lucky serve over. Make it 3-1 Georgia Tech in set number 4. So it's been a fun match, but it's been a fun season for either squads too. Both on their hottest starts in program history. Little float shot over. It's dug out. Here's a joust at the net. Carvacho with the correction. Couldn't get it to go. And a tip shot over, and it falls in. Chloe Wilson with her 7th kill of the afternoon. And now Varicia Jan will step on the floor. An emphatic middle blocker for Virginia. 3-2. Georgia Tech up by 1. Here's Milan Gamillion in the far corner of your screen. Libero. We'll let it roll. Easy return from Georgia Tech. How about the thread shot from Tamara Oteen, who continues to lead the way in kills. Make it 16 on the afternoon for her. Last year, Oteen, the senior in her first season with Virginia, hailed as an All-American from Volleyball Magazine. Tip shot over, and Cavacho couldn't get it to go. Make it 5-2 Georgia Tech. And pay attention to the top right corner of your screen after a Georgia Tech point. They've got choreographed celebrations from the Yellow Jackets over there. And when you're playing as well as Georgia Tech, why not? Mendez with the serve. From left to right, here's a dig from Georgia Tech. Denial at the net, but it's poked onto Georgia Tech's side of the hardwood. And Virginia makes it a 2-point match. Collier going to substitute Mendez. She'll bring on Lauren Sandin here. Her first appearance, Spanish National Honor Society member. Talk about someone who fits the mold of the academics of Virginia. Served up from Virginia, and the swing is denied at the net, but out of reach. Georgia Tech with another point. They doubled the score of the Cavaliers early in set number 4. So hot starts for both of these programs. Records all over the place, keen to be broken, especially for Georgia Tech, who has already broken a record, as a receiving error means another point for Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets set the program attendance record back in Atlanta with 5,300 against Georgia in McCamish Pavilion just 4 weeks ago. A little bit of a smaller crowd here in Virginia, but plenty of energy for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, who lead it by 4 in set number 4. (7-3) Georgia Tech looking to take set number 4 and take the entirety of this match between the Virginia Cavaliers and the 11th ranked squad in the country. From right to left, the white jerseys of Georgia Tech serving it up and immediately gifting a point to the Cavaliers. From Charlottesville, Kyle Marshak and the ACC Network Extra, perhaps our final unbroken stint of women's volleyball ACC action so far tonight. Unless Virginia has something to say about it after showing flashes in the past 2 sets, which they've split with Georgia Tech, of excellence against a ranked squad. It would be their first ranked win, too. And a receiving error means Virginia brings it back within 2. One of the serving specialists of this squad, Kate Johnson. That's her 14th service ace of the year. And another tough receive for Georgia Tech. A backswing and a pushover from Trueblood. Mishandled by Georgia Tech. Here's a free ball for Virginia. Borum lets it fly. Dug out on the far side and mishandled. Borum gets into double digits with kills tonight. She's been elite in the past couple of sets. Back within 1 are the Wahoos. And now Memorial Gymnasium is rocking in hopes of a big ACC victory. Good receive by the Yellow Jackets this time. A denial at the net from Jan, though. Second try, and they thread it through this time. Johnson couldn't get the dig, and an easy near side kill from Bianca Bertolino. Bertolino last year finished 4th in the team with 202 kills last season. Imagine having 200 kills. You're just fourth in your squad. That's how good Georgia Tech's offense is. Patterson back on the floor. Another serving specialist, this time for GT. Jan is denied at the net. The blocker gets blocked. And Georgia Tech with another choreographed celebration as they're up 3. Just shy of midway through set number 4. Try to get that swing shot from Jan again. She was met at the net by Bertolino. Patterson airs it a little too high. Serving error, and Virginia's gifted a point to bring it back within 2. Virginia proving that as they reset their program under Shannon Wells' excellence, that they can match the level of other ACC teams as Georgia Tech makes it to 10 points. They have other top 25 teams to worry about this year as well, outside of the 11th ranked team in front of them. Number 4 Louisville's coming up in just a week. And right after them, on the backside of that weekend, October 18th, they have number 5 Pitt on their slate as well. Borum powers it down, but an easy receive by Otine. Tipped at the net, an attacking error from Bertolino. You don't see that very often. And Virginia is back within 2. Chloe Wilson back on the floor. Trueblood with a deep breath, and she lets the serve fly. Bertolino digs it up. Powered down at the block. Wilson denies it at the net with Lily Gervais at her left hit. How about that middle blocking duo? And a slew of substitutions on the floor for Georgia Tech now. We're seeing Leah Harper for the first time since set number 2. Trueblood postures the ball up. Spins it at the net. It's handled just fine by Bertolino. A bump set and a swing. What a dig by Gamillion. Trueblood gives a free ball over to Georgia Tech. Denied at the net. Poked back up on a foot save. And Georgia Tech nearly has the point. Virginia with another try. Borum denied at the net again. A save. Spiked down, and they couldn't get it to go. Virginia with an incredible rally to bring it back within a tie set. Back and forth action. Check out the foot save by Pimentel. A wonderful libero for Georgia Tech. To no avail. It's a 10-10 score in set 4. Service ace from Kate Johnson, her 15th of the year. And you bet Georgia Tech calls timeout. Virginia scorching hot right now. 11-10 your score, and the Cavaliers could look to tie things back up out of this timeout. The Cavaliers storm back on a 4-0 scoring run, and they lead at 11-10, down 2-1 in the match versus number 11 ranked Georgia Tech. From Charlottesville, Virginia, in Memorial Gymnasium, the Cavaliers host their first-ranked opponent of the year, and it could be their biggest win of the season as well if they continue to storm back here in set number 4 of action. Georgia Tech leads it 2-1 overall. Virginia out of the timeout, make it 5 points in a row. Brooklyn Borum is out of her mind right now. If you're Regan Trueblood, who's serving the ball, you got to feel good about having the ball in your hands for the 5th point in a row. Another serve handled just fine. Backside swing, dug out by Gamillion. Free ball for Georgia Tech. Gamillion shovels it up again. Powering it over. Borum gets another kill. Gamillion with a gajillion digs tonight, and Borum with a gajillion kills. Virginia's up by 3. Georgia Tech with a long huddle there after dropping their 7th straight point. Here's the serve from Trueblood. Denial at the net, and Virginia up 14-10 in set number 4. This place is electric. Trueblood, here's the serve. Bertolino pops it up in the air. A backside swing and an attacking error. 15-10 Virginia. Michelle Collier calls timeout. The Cavaliers defending their home court. 15-10, Virginia up by 5. We'll be back in a moment. It's a fun one on the ACC Network Extra. Nothing scoring run for the Virginia Cavaliers, and it's been led by Milan Gamillion in number 6 and number 2, Brooklyn Borum. 2-1 the score overall for Georgia Tech. But how about Virginia storming back to a commanding lead in set number 4? They could tie the entire match up. Regan Trueblood with her 9th serve in a row. Georgia Tech on the right side of your screen, letting it fly and finally getting back in the kill column. Bianca Bertolino slams it down to the hardwood. And if you're Michelle Collier, a little bit of a sigh of relief. Bertolino, a serving specialist as well. So perhaps a little bit of a run imminent for Georgia Tech to get back within reach in set number 4 of action. If the Yellow Jackets take the set, they take the match. So they're just looking to survive right now. Wonderful serve, but handled just fine by Virginia, and a denial at the net. From the rafters, Callie Engemann gets the block. Engemann getting her first licks of action for Georgia Tech, and the 6'4" middle blocker is showing out. Bertolino lets it fly. It is just out of reach. Virginia gets a point back. It's 16-12 in set 4. And now a slew of substitutions and perhaps another timeout or a review. We'll see. And it looks like Collier did want to talk things over. So that swing was awfully close in the back end of the court. If we get a review on that. (16-12). It's been a back and forth match. Georgia Tech opened up the scoring 25-11 in set one. You can see Gamillion and Kate Johnson getting out of the way. And that's a close one. But it looks like the line judge was in the right by putting the flag up in the air there. Then in set two, it was 25-21. Virginia took their first and only set so far tonight. Flipped the score, 25-21. Georgia Tech won set three. So now here in set four, Georgia Tech would like to storm back to take the entirety of this match. If not, they can go to a set five. Right now, Virginia's in the position to send it to set five. They're up 16-12 here. And a lot of stat leaders have been impressive. Brooklyn Borum's the one that's really showed out. We'll see whether or not for Georgia Tech the kill was true. Here's the call. And it was out of reach. Virginia does get the point, and they stay up by 4. An audible sigh of relief from Shannon Wells, who actually stands on the other side of the court and stares at this conversation between Michelle Collier and the referee. Awaiting the whistle for action is Brooklyn Borum. Gigi Carvacho on the court. And here is Brooklyn Borum to let it fly. Handled just fine by Georgia Tech, and an easy kill. Tamara Oteen. Make it her 16th on the afternoon. Brooklyn Borum's rivaled that just fine, despite a complete height difference at just 5'11". Borum with 13 kills in the afternoon for Virginia. But it's Georgia Tech's ball. Down 3, and here's the serve. Borum pops it up. And the swing from Wilson. She slices it through. Chloe Wilson with her 8th kill of the afternoon. How about a spin shot in between both members of the back row and just pounds it into the mahogany hardwood. Float shot, Georgia Tech with a hard swing, and Trueblood pops it up in the air. Wilson rolls it through and finds the hardwood again. 18-13. UVA could be well on their way to sending it to a 5th set with the 11th ranked team in the country. Milan Gamillion with the serve from left to right on your screen. Bertolino gets the dig. And a tip shot over falls in favor of Georgia Tech. Tamara Oteen continues to roll with her 17th kill of the match. Now it's Larissa Mendez, who's been a part of the action coming into this contest, led the way in kills for Georgia Tech with 177. Her and Oteen have been quite the duo. Meanwhile, that's her 4th serving error of the season. Now Virginia leads it by 5. Back on the floor, Madison Morey for UVA. She'll go on to serve. Morey with 4 service aces on the year. A defensive specialist who's taken a little bit of a backseat in the past couple of years because of some transfers who have come in, but still effective on the roster. Denial at the net, but pushed out of play, and Georgia Tech gets the point. And here is the Kiwi, Tamara Oteen. Borum serves it up just fine. Georgia Tech shovels it off the hardwood. A backside swing from Oteen, tipped at the net. Georgia Tech will punch it back up. A float shot, and the pancake couldn't get it to go. How about the touch over? And some more choreographed dances from Georgia Tech in celebration. They're back within 3 in set 4. Oteen with the serve, Borum with the receive. A denial at the net from Bianca Bertolino. And a swing well out of reach. Carvaccio saying to her teammates, I was trying to get the fingertips there and just completely missed the target. Georgia Tech is back within dose. And now Virginia is going to talk things over. Shannon Wells, in her 3rd season with Virginia, has brought this program to new heights, has yet to get a ranked victory, and maybe they have Georgia Tech on their heels. We'll see in just a moment. Two-point advantage for Virginia, looking to steal the 4th set and send it to set number 5. Georgia Tech with the ball as they claw their way back within reach. Virginia led by as much as 6 in the set. Now just a 2-point advantage for the Cavaliers. From right to left in the white jerseys are the Yellow Jackets, the 11th ranked team in the country, getting a service ace out of the timeout. Tamara Oteen, her first service ace of the night, her 10th on the season so far, just early in ACC play. It's the Virginia Cavaliers in Memorial Gymnasium hosting a fun one. Kyle Marshak here on the ACC Network Extra. Cavaliers looking to return to the stat sheet. Great dig by Georgia Tech's Tamara Oteen. How about the dig from Borum? And letting it fly is Cavaccio. Saved up in the air by Oteen. Georgia Tech pokes it back over. It's Bertolino. And the swing from Carvaccio, handled just fine by Oteen again. The same set of names going back and forth. Virginia gives Georgia Tech a free ball. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Another great shovel and a poke shot from Georgia Tech. A roll shot poked up in the air by Trueblood. And now a roll shot from Cavaccio far side. Back and forth, a denial at the net, deflected back up in the air. Backside swing, Jan handles it just fine. Poked up, bodies flying all over the place. Trueblood pushes it over, but she touches the net. And Georgia Tech stings their way to another point. It's 19-19 in set number 4. As back and forth as it gets, with navy blue jerseys flying all over the hardwood in that one. So yeah, Virginia showing a lot of fight against ranked competition. It would be their first time to get a ranked win under Shannon Wells. Well, there are other storylines looming at why this matchup is so important to both squads. Demillion sets it up for Cavaccio, who slams it down. Virginia, the first one to 20 in set number 4. Kate Johnson on for Cavaccio. As Regan Trueblood leaves the floor and Kate Johnson joins alongside Lauren Bowie, the middle blocker. So putting some height on the floor is Shannon Wells for Virginia. Kate Johnson, a serving specialist for the Cavaliers. Here she is. Receive is fantastic by Pimentel. There's a one-handed tip shot over by Georgia Tech. Now Borum threads it through, but a receive from Oteen is clean as day. Trueblood sets it up. Bowie trying to get her first kill of the match. Nearly a receiving error. Now a free ball for Virginia. Can they get a 2-point advantage? Yes, they can. 21-19 Cavaliers. 4 more points, and they've just sent it to a 5th set of action. Michelle Collier, the coach for Georgia Tech, talking with her assistants. They've got to design a plan to get back into this right now. A spinning serve and a great dig. Turns into nothing, though. Virginia gets the denial to go. A 3-point advantage for Virginia. Here comes Lauren Sandin on the floor for Georgia Tech. Kate Johnson continues to serve for UVA. Ashley Lee on the floor for UVA as well. To make it a 4-point advantage. Clean receive by Georgia Tech. Otine, and it's dug out by Gamillion. Bowie lets it fly, and an attacking error puts Georgia Tech back within reach. The other trends behind this game that have made it so important is that this is the last time these two teams meet in the ACC, as the way the ACC is in today's day and age. 3 new teams joining next year. What a dig by Patterson, but an even better swing from Bowie and company. Garcia Yan with an emphatic kill, and Virginia are 2 points away from stealing set number 4. And if you think women's volleyball is growing as one of the fastest growing sports in the country right now, well, maybe a school like Virginia is the epicenter of that. Backside swing, and it's stopped at the net. Another try, and an attacking error makes it point set Virginia. Memorial is lit up right now. Cavaliers want to send it to set number 5 with the 11th best team in the country. Velasquez with the serve. Just out of reach. And that's as close as it gets in that back corner. And that line judge over there is getting a little bit of flack from the Cavalier fans, but no review. So now Georgia Tech has the ball, 24-21. Yellow Jackets down 3, and they'll have to storm back to steal a set here. Borum mishandles the receive. Johnson bumps it over, and a roll shot free ball for Georgia Tech. Here's the swing. Poked out of play. Georgia Tech is back within a couple. Larissa Mendez with another kill. And here comes Eloise Suarez for the serve. Borum with a clean receive and a slam down for the set. Virginia sends it to set number 5 with the number 11 ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Two-2 the score. We go to 15 in set number 5, and this is going to be a fun one. Both teams convene in between sets. We have 3 minutes until we step back onto the hardwood, and then we ponder about how fun this match would be if Virginia got history tonight, or can Georgia Tech avoid it? We'll see in just a moment on the ACC Network Extra. And set number 5 begins from Charlottesville. How about this matchup? UVA, 8-7 on the year. Not necessarily a historically successful program, but Shannon Wells, the head coach in her 3rd season, has brought them to new heights. And now she searches for her first ranked win. Virginia hasn't defeated Georgia Tech since 2017. And Wells has been the leader of this Wahoo squad as they've stormed back on their home court against the 11th ranked Yellow Jackets squad. What a fun night in Charlottesville. Cal Marshak from the Memorial Gymnasium on the ACC Network Extra. Thank you guys for joining me on a back-and-forth afternoon. A pleasant surprise for volleyball fans tonight. Georgia Tech opened up the game with a 25-11 score in set 1. A little bit different since then. 25-21 the score. Virginia took it in set 2. Flipped the score in set 3 in Georgia Tech's favor. And then set 4, 25-22 Virginia. So now we go to 15 points in our final set of action from Charlottesville. On the right side of your screen, it's the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets starting with the serve. Here's Eloise Suarez. And a serving error opens up a 1-0 score for the Cavaliers. And it feels like, considering the competition and the pedigree of Virginia's program in recent history, this isn't just a normal win for the Cavaliers if they walked away victorious tonight. A slam down and an easy kill for Georgia Tech to make it a 1-1 score. Larissa Mendez with her 8th kill of the afternoon. Oteen serves it up. Virginia denied at the net. Borum couldn't get the touch back up. Advantage GT. Matches like this are why women's volleyball is the fastest women's sport in the United States right now in terms of growth. High set out of the rafters and a swing from Wilson. Couldn't get it to go. A touch over. Wilson pokes it back onto the side of Georgia Tech. A far side swing, and the kill is good to go for Georgia Tech. Mendez with another kill in the set. 3-1. Yellow Jackets have the lead. And now a timeout, or perhaps a review at the scorer's table. Both squads going to talk things over on that last play, and it looks like we will have it under review to see whether or not there was a touch at the net. But how about we talk about why this matchup brings light on something that's important to Shannon Wells in particular, head coach of Virginia. She gave me an interesting perspective on why the growth of women's volleyball is so important to her. And she said this, as first we get a replay, whether or not this ball was touched out of reach. And it looks like it's in by a mile. So it would be Georgia Tech's point. But I asked her, I said, what do you think about the expansion of the ACC and the growth of women's athletics in general, with SMU, number 4 ranked Stanford, and Cal to join the ACC in 2023? Mind you, all 3 of those teams are possible tournament squads this year. And, you know, although women's athletics continue to go rapidly in the United States, Coach Wells said, well, I feel like volleyball has fallen behind the curve, as Georgia Tech is confirmed the point. And she said she wanted to be clear on who exactly should take credit for women's volleyball's development. She said, I spent 8 seasons at Florida. Title IX did a lot of great things for women's sports, but volleyball lacked. Everything volleyball has done is from us, she said, from the coaches and from the athletes. And now it's the #1 growing sport for women right now. And you know what else is growing is Virginia's confidence in set number 5. As they grab their second point, a denial at the net from Varicia Yan, as well as Cavacho. 3-2, Georgia Tech still leads. A chance to tie things up in the final set to 15 between Virginia and Georgia Tech. Bertolino skies that one on the receive. What a dig from Gamillion, who shovels it off the hardwood. And a quick set over to Georgia Tech. Near side swing, Bertolino couldn't get it. Gamillion with a bump set. Wilson lets it fly. Virginia gets the point. Chloe Wilson with her 10th kill of the afternoon, the 4th one to hit double digits in that category for the Wahoos tonight. Here's Gamillion. 3-3 score to take an early lead. A joust at the net. And Georgia Tech returns fire. Callie Engemann gets the kill. Has only played in a couple of sets so far this year. She exits the floor. And right now, the junior out of Excelsior, Minnesota, is making a difference while she's on the hardwood. Trueblood sets it up for Gavacho. Easy dig from Pimentel. And a touch over right through the middle of the court. Nice vision by Georgia Tech as Otine gets another kill. Leads all scorers with 19 on the afternoon. Pimentel with a straight shot serve. Far side swing from Gavacho. And touching it out of play was Eloise Suarez. Gavacho with another kill. 5-4, Georgia Tech only up by 1. Georgia Tech has lost to 2 teams this year. Georgia Tech, or Georgia that is, 3-1 midway through the season, and then coming off a loss right now to number 7 Pitt. So perhaps Georgia Tech's confidence a little waver. Virginia's not, though. Varicia Yan says right back at you and makes it a 5-5 score in set 5. We're a third of the way there through the final set of action. Here's Trueblood, or Madison Mori, that is. Cross-court swing, and it's put right back into the hardwood by Gamillion. Are you kidding me? And look at the celebration. Milan Gamillion having one of the best games of her career against one of the most impressive air attacks in the ACC. But she shovels it off the hardwood and places it right back in the side of Georgia Tech. Make it a Virginia advantage, 6-5 your score. And Georgia Tech, smartly so, has got to talk things over to avoid the upset. Virginia may have other plans. We'll be back in just a moment from Charlottesville. The crowd speaks for itself. Virginia hosting the 11th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and right now they lead the final set of action by a single point. And in case you missed it, Milan Gamillion in the orange jersey on the left side of your screen just had a SportsCenter Top 10 highlight play. Nice serve from Borum, and the dig from Mori is not good to go. Georgia Tech responds right out of the timeout. It's been a back and forth contest. 25-11, Georgia Tech won set 1. 25-21, Virginia won set 2. 25-21, Georgia Tech won set 3. 25-22, Virginia won set 4. And here we are, just 1 point apart, or pardon me, all tied up in the final set to just 15 points. Here we go. Kate Johnson serves it up. Letting it fly is Yan with another kill. 7-6 Virginia. Kate Johnson on the floor for Virginia. 2 service aces in that last impeccable set for Virginia. See what she has to serve up here. Oh my, right at the net. Georgia Tech with some impromptu abilities to get it back up. Borum with a roll shot over in the middle of the floor. Oteen pops it up, and the swing is threaded through the needle. Bertolino and company get the kill. 7-7. Halfway through the final set, Bertolino with an emphatic serve. Borum, yes! 8-7, Virginia the first to the halfway point, and we switch sides on a Cavaliers advantage. Would you believe that? Virginia, 22-41 versus Georgia Tech all time. Haven't won against Georgia Tech since 2017. They've lost 6 matches in a row. And they're facing their first ranked opponent of the year. And right now, Brooklyn Borum has stormed to the top of the stat sheets for Virginia. Second between all hitters on the floor between both squads. The only one ahead of her is Tamara Oteen for Georgia Tech. But right now, Virginia is just 7 points away from history. Here's Velasquez with the serve. Floats it up. Pimentel with the bump set. Oteen gets the kill. 8-8. As close as it gets in Memorial Gymnasium tonight. And here's Elizabeth Patterson to serve. Michelle Collier with a look of disdain on her face right now. Right now, the referee arguing a substitution on the far side of the floor, looking to put Laura Fisher on for Eloise Suarez. Cavaliers may not understand exactly what their argument is, but they'll use whatever argument they can, and some boos rain out. I suppose it was an attempt to make an illegal substitution. Suarez will stay on the floor. Fisher remains on the bench. But it's in the hands of Elizabeth Patterson right now as she serves it up for Georgia Tech from left to right on your screen. Far side swing. Yes! Lily Gervais threads it through. And she has her 6th kill of the night to put Virginia up by 1. Remember, it's the first one to 15, winner by 2. So Regan Trueblood will serve for UVA. And the crowd falls to a hush. But Georgia Tech's defense is awfully quiet right now. On the receiving error was Georgia Tech's own Lauren Sandin. And you bet Collier wants to talk things over with her squad. 10-8, and Virginia is up by multiple points for the first time in set number 5 of action. 5 points to go for history from Memorial Gymnasium. A 2-point advantage for the Cavaliers, who are looking to shock the NCAA women's volleyball realm. And right now the crowd is carrying them to a victory, possibly in set 5. Here's the swing on the serve from Trueblood. Georgia Tech fires from left to right, and an attacking error. No, they're going to say that on defense it was a tip out of play, and the Cavaliers fans are in disagreement. So the kill would be awarded to Callie Engemann for Georgia Tech there. And as if this match couldn't get any more confusing, any more exciting, we go to another review. It has been as close as you can ask for. Set 1 was a 14-point advantage for Georgia Tech. Since then, as both squads have gone back and forth every other set, it's been decided by less than 5 points each time. And now the match could be decided by a singular replay. We'll see whether or not Virginia touched that ball on the way out. Immediately there was a protest from the middle blockers and company up front. And it's close. Again, Engemann, not a lot of burn for Georgia Tech this year, but when on the floor has made a big difference, and that kill would be pretty vital for Georgia Tech. It would bring them back within a point. Right now, the call on the court is that Georgia Tech had the kill. So the score on your screen is the current standing score. If they flip it, Georgia Tech would go back down to 8, and Virginia would be up by 3 at a score of 11 overall. You can see Collier's squad talking things over. And another long replay. Memorial Gymnasium, a historic venue in ACC women's volleyball as well. Been around since the 1800s. And it's hosted a fun one tonight. Real close look there. It would be Brooklyn Borum getting the touch. And it doesn't look like there's any evidence to suggest that Georgia Tech actually did get that point. All right, here comes the call. And that may be protested by fans, but right now Georgia Tech celebrates a big point to bring it back within 1. And they have one of their better servers on the ball as well. Eloise Suarez is going to uncoil here. First one to 15 wins it. Gotta win by 2. And we're in the final set of action between the 11th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and an 8-7 Virginia Cavaliers squad. Borum unfurls, but it's blocked at the net. Let's try Wilson this time. Dug out by Bertolino. Georgia Tech uncoils a game-tying point. As close a match you could ask for. 10-10 your score. Who is going to separate? Borum with an easy receive for Virginia. A backside swing, and it's denied at the net. Larissa Mendez coming into this contest 4th on the team with 31 blocks and absolutely denies Wilson on the far side. 11-10, Georgia Tech leads the way, and Wells calls timeout. A lot of action as we await the final set of play from Charlottesville, Virginia. In a phone booth, these teams are competing right now. It's the 11th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and an unranked Virginia Cavaliers squad in Charlottesville, Virginia. Final set of play and just a 1-point difference separating these two squads. Georgia Tech will serve from left to right on your screen. Virginia looking to unfurl, and they do with a big block up front. Chloe Wilson and Lily Gervais with the denial. 11-11 your score. First one to 15 wins it in the 5th set of play. Grab your popcorn. I know it's Sunday, but football's not on my mind right now. Volleyball is as exciting as it gets on the ACC Network Extra. Far side set. And Mendez finds the hardwood. Georgia Tech responds. A .412 hitting percentage from Georgia Tech, just a .312 hitting percentage from Virginia. The big difference, though, the defense. A lot of clean receives from Virginia tonight, except for that one. Pinballed up in the air. Virginia does get it over. Backside set from Suarez, and pounding it down to the hardwood was Mendez again. For the first time the entire set, Georgia Tech separates by multiple points. And look at that kill from Mendez. Borum had nothing to respond with, and Georgia Tech is up 13-11, 2 more points, and they've just avoided a huge catastrophe against an 8-7 Virginia Cavaliers squad. And there you see Michelle Collier talking things over alongside her assistant coach Claudio Pinheiro and Vinny Bagan. She's brought over her own squad, and they've been around the whole way. Since 2013, she's been with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. It's her 10th season with this ACC squad, and quite the pedigree this coach has. Has South Florida's school record for kills in a match, 41 back in 2001. And then from 03 to 06, spent time playing professionally in Spain, the Netherlands, Cyprus, Indonesia, and Puerto Rico. But right here in Charlottesville is the focus of attention right now. Memorial Gymnasium has hosted a fun one. Speaking of history, right? Used to be a venue for the boxing club here at the University of Virginia. And you know what? It feels like we're watching a fight right now because it's been jab after jab. And on that last kill, it felt like one of the big blows, maybe an overhand right. See if Georgia Tech can continue to point collect right before the end of the round. The ring of the bell, if you will. 13-11. Georgia Tech needs 2 more to walk away unscathed. Virginia can storm back and get history, though. Serves up. Set at the net. And punched down to the hardwood. Cavacho. Hey, when you're 6'2", you can make it look easy. And she got way up for that one. Virginia with the serve. Here's Gamillion to uncoil it. Suarez with a far side set and a poke over. It is set point and match point Georgia Tech. Now's the time for Virginia to respond. You got to win by 2. So if Virginia wins 2 in a row, they could send it to the equivalent of double overtime, if you will. Or Georgia Tech can end it right now. Here's the serve. Gamillion with a bump set. Far side swing from Carvacho. It's dug out by Suarez. A joust at the net. Denied. And Virginia will get the point. They're trying to call for it on the pin. And now we're going to get a foul on Paulo Pimentel, who, when arguing with the near ref, kicked a ball in his direction. I think just out of anger, had nothing to do with him, but a yellow card. And now you have Bertolino arguing with the near side referee as well. If that doesn't tell you how bad Georgia Tech wants to end this match now, I'm not sure what does. So Paulo Pimentel will have to be careful for whatever remaining minutes we have in the hardwood here, because Georgia Tech's libero, not just a vital piece of the roster, but now on a yellow card as well. There's a shot of Bertolino walking back to her squad. as we do have another review up in the air. The age of the review. I mean, even in baseball, we have it now, right? Last night, I believe the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves went to 3 different reviews in a playoff matchup. And I'll tell you what, this game feels like a playoff contest as well, with the amount of fight and investment we've had on either squad. Here we go. Virginia gets the point. 14-13, Cavaliers back within 1. And they're going to say that the swing that touched the pin was from Georgia Tech's hitter. And there you see on that replay when Pimentel kicked the ball in anger and got a yellow card. If you don't have popcorn in your hands already, go get it. This could be an exciting finish to this contest. Virginia's going to have serve. Here's Ashley Lee, who's only spent a couple of sets on the floor. The 5'9" setter, a junior out of Plano, Texas. Here we go. Oteen handles it for Georgia Tech. The swing popped up in the air, and Georgia Tech walks away unscathed. By just 2 points, the Yellow Jackets win their 7th match in a row versus Virginia. But you can't say the Cavaliers didn't fight. What a